Welcome back to my phrasal verb series where I take a phrasal verb, teach it to you, and then use it in a story so that you can know exactly how to use it in real conversations in English. So today's phrasal verb is hand over. So when you hand over something, it literally means that you are giving something and you are handing it to somebody else. You are giving it to somebody else. Usually we use this like with police officers, when you have to hand them some evidence, when you have to hand over your phone to your mom, when you have to hand over your homework to your teacher. There are so many practical and casual ways to use hand over in English, and that is why it is so important that you know how to use it and practice it. All right, so today we have a story about some robbers and a guy named Jack. So I'm going to read the story and you just really focus on your listening and trying to absorb the story so that you know exactly what they're talking about. All right, so here we go. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jack who lived in a small village with his parents. Jack was very curious. He loved exploring in the forest that surrounded his village. One day, he came across a strange-looking object in the forest. It was small and it was in a rusty box with a lock on it. Jack was intrigued, and he knew how to find a way to open it. After hours of trying it, Jack decided to bring the box to his neighbor, Mr. Brown, who was known for being good with locks. Jack handed over the box to Mr. Brown and asked him if he could open it. Mr. Brown agreed to help him and promised to give it back to Jack once it was unlocked. A few hours later, Mr. Brown handed over the open box to Jack, who was overjoyed. Inside, he found an old map. The map showed the location of a treasure that was hidden deep in the forest. Excited to find the treasure, Jack set off into the forest. As he walked, he stumbled upon a group of robbers who were plotting to steal the treasure. They demanded that Jack hand over the map, but Jack refused. He knew he had to protect the map and find the treasure himself. The robbers chased Jack, but he was too quick for them. He ran through the forest until he found a small cave where he could hide. Once inside, Jack opened the map and studied it carefully. He knew exactly where the treasure was hidden. As he made his way towards the treasure, he heard the robbers shouting and searching for him. Jack had to be careful not to be caught, so he hid behind the trees and rocks. Finally, he reached a spot where the treasure was supposed to be. However, as he was digging, he heard robbers approaching, and they found him. In a panic, Jack decided to hand over the treasure to the robbers and keep himself safe. But as he handed it over, he realized that the treasure wasn't real treasure. It was just decoy to trick the robbers. Jack had outsmarted the robbers and had the real treasure with him all along. He ran back to his village, excited to share his discovery with his parents. As he handed over the treasure to his parents, they were amazed at what Jack had accomplished. They were proud of him for being so brave and clever. From that day on, Jack became known as the treasure hunter of the village. He would often go on adventures and bring back treasures for everyone to see. And every time he found something valuable, he would hand it over to his parents to keep it safe. All right, so that's like a cute little story. There are a lot of bigger words in here. So in the description down below, I am going to add a lot of the words that are maybe a little bit challenging, like decoy and whatnot. All right, so there you have it. There is the phrasal verb hand over inside a story. Now, what your job is to do now is to really try to figure out if you understand how to use hand over and write your own sentence down below in the comments or just on a piece of paper for yourself at home and practice it, because in reality, in casual English, we are always using these words. All right, so give it a try and check out this next phrasal verb story over here.